Welcome back to Rockstar 101. His name is Brandon. He's the DJ.
His name is Shim. He is the rock star. Class is in session. To begin things on this episode, I have to say, welcome to our newest supporter, Chevy Dawes, or Chevy. Not sure which way to
Chevy
go with
Chase,
that one, but
Chevy Dawes, Chevy.
I was thinking Chevy because Chevy tends to be how you pronounce the name, as in like not the vehicle. The vehicle would be Chevy, but I think Chevy. But if I'm getting that wrong,
just let us know, Chevy.
Yeah. But if you guys want to be a supporter of the podcast, you can do so. Go to anchor.fm/Rockstar101. You can go ahead and be a supporter of the podcast. It helps us with kind of getting the name out there and getting this in front of other people. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what we like to do.
And also thank you to all of the members of the Patreon that are watching us record this live right now in the War Room on Discord that are with us right now watching. They get early access. Everybody else who's watching... You're watching in the normal slotted time. Everybody else in the War Room on the Patreon just gets a little bit of a sneak peek early access. Other than that, what's going on, man? What are we doing this week? You tell me.
Well, I was looking up some just random rock and roll facts because one of the other things I was thinking of, I really do want to do a book club of some sort. We need to figure out how to do a rock bio book club. And I think we should start with either the Heroin Diaries or... The Dirt, one of the Motley Crue books.
I think that I'm totally down with either of that. It's either I was going to suggest either the Heroin Diaries or the Aerosmith one, only because I know there's one Aerosmith ones that had like one story and 5 different perspectives on the same story from each band member. So it was very interesting to see the contrasting opinions on it. But when it comes to, I would go with the Heroin Diaries because I've read part of that and I know that it's just a mental mind fuck. And also because I've met Nicky and I'm kind of more interested because I've met him. So that's that's a personal reason.
Well, and I don't mind doing that either because I got beef with Nikki Sixx. I mean, I've talked about it before. I've told you about that.
No, you never told me about Nikki Sixx beef.
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, I have. Am
I gonna have to comment to keep my friendship with him?
You normally, when I brought it up before, you have to say what Brandon is saying does not equate to your feelings. Yeah, it doesn't reflect your feelings because I was just talking to some guys about
maybe we shouldn't go into this live then.
No, it's perfectly fine.
All right, what's your beef?
I respect the hell out of the guy. Okay. I think that he's incredibly talented. I think that he makes amazing music. I love 6 a.m. Motley Crue is great. But every time I've been involved with an interview with the guy, he's been a dick.
Okay.
Every time. And I always give everybody at least one chance because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what kind of day they're having. Maybe they're off that day, and that's fine. That's, you know what? Cool. I have no problems being like, yeah, they were just off that day, and then rolling with the punches because I've had that where one of my first interactions with somebody may have not been great, but the next time was great just because they were probably having a bad day.
And that's very cool of you as a DJ to give them that chance because a lot of DJs that I know don't. They just meet you the first time and go, oh, he's a dick. And I've had that with me a couple times,
man. Yeah, you can't do that because it's just you're basing an opinion on one simple interaction with somebody, and you can't do that. But when it comes to Nikki Sixx, it's been multiple interactions with that guy, and every time he's been a jerk.
Right.
Now, maybe I just happened to catch him on the 5 different really bad days that he's had.
Right.
But you could always tell he didn't want to be doing the interview. Right. He was given really short, really dickish answers and just sounded completely uninterested the entire time.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of his shtick?
But for me as a radio person, I'm like, well, then I don't want to do this with you, man. Right. I'll go, you know what? I'd rather go to Tommy Lee because you want a complete opposite side of that spectrum. Tommy Lee is awesome.
Right.
That dude is so much fun to interview. He's always energetic. He's always into it. He loves talking to you. He's just a really genuine, cool guy. I love talking to Tommy Lee. But then on the flip side, Nikki Sixx has always been a jerk. And again, I could be wrong. I think it's been multiple occasions.
Well, I think just to counteract, number one, Nikki Sixx is not a jerk, okay? Like, I know that you're not saying he's a jerk. You're saying he acted like a jerk during the interviews that you've done. I've met Nikki. I know he's not a jerk. However, I also know that it can be – it's tough. It's a tough argument if he's done multiple interviews that haven't been satisfactory for you. But I don't know, man. I know that like interviews, there's a lot of times where interviews, they're not fun. They're like, you're in the middle of doing touring, and Nicky's got a million other things going on, and he's like, maybe he should have canceled the interview on that day if he really didn't want to do it. But the truth is, there's a part of it that could be, and I'm not speaking for him at all because I don't know, but he's always very nice when he's doing his radio show. You know, he's got his own little radio show. Well, not little.
I don't think he does it anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore, but when he had his show, which was syndicated, you know, I was on his show, and he was very happy to be on that show because it's his show. But maybe that's part of his shtick because he is Motley Crue and he is a fucking living icon, that he's like, man, this is like, fuck everyone, I'm Nikki Sixx. You know, like maybe that fucking, you know, like that if anyone's going to have that shtick, it's going to be someone like Nikki Sixx, especially with the shit he's been through.
Well, and so if I were to meet him face to face, I'm going to still treat him kindly. You know, I would go to shake his hand. Yeah. I would do, you know, and I would still give him another chance. You know, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot by doing that, but I would still give him another shot. It's just right now he's batting zero when it comes to interviews that I've been involved in, where he's just been a jerk every single time. So,
well, I mean, like, what about like Maynard from Tool? He's the worst that I've heard stories about. I've heard stories where Maynard from Tool.
I've heard horrible stories about him as well.
And the bottom line is, he just doesn't want to do interviews. He doesn't. And the thing is, I have mad respect for him. I have an interesting dichotomy with my opinion on how Maynard approaches what he does, because there's part of me that goes, dude, you said yes to the interview, you showed up, so conduct the interview. Don't show up on purpose and purposefully be a dick just to say, I'm doing this because I can. On the flip side, I have massive respect as an entertainer. That's my opinion. As an artist, my opinion on Maynard is you're fucking dope because you're like, my music does all the talking. I resent having to be in front of a microphone to discuss anything. Listen to my music, formulate your own opinion, do your job and listen to the music and put some time and energy into listening and valuing, make your own opinion. Why do I have to sit here and fucking talk about it? I've already finished it. And like, there's a part of me that's like it's like some Salvador Dali shit where they're like, why the fuck do I need to talk to you? You like, my art stands for itself. I don't want to fucking discuss it. And there's a part of me that's like, that's kind of dope. But at the same time, then say no to the interview. Just say, I don't do interviews. Be fucking Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder didn't do interviews forever. Still doesn't really, does he?
Not that I really know of. And I know if we were to ever get him on the morning show, that would be a big deal.
Oh, no, it'd be massive. He very rarely does interviews. And I think it really is a testament to... Eddie Vedder's a prime example of it. Pearl Jam blew up. They're doing 1 million interviews. All they ask him about is grunge, Seattle, and the Nirvana comparison and Soundgarden. And they were just sick of it. They were like, we're our own band. We do our own thing. We're sick of fucking having like, you guys just don't fucking get it. You're trying to turn us into a fucking cereal, like some sort of brand, and we're musicians that make music that we care about. And so they just stopped doing interviews. And then they said the music speaks for itself. We do our shows, we make records and do shows. Come to the shows, it's all about the music. And then they didn't do interviews. And it became sort of this folklore of there's only a handful of interviews that are in-depth with Eddie Vedder. And I was like, great. That's how you fucking do it. You actually make it about the music, because when people love Pearl Jam and they can't find an interview, what do? They just listen to the music. They watch the live videos because that's all there is. And so I get where they're coming from, but then you go back to your point of like, well, when you're actually on the microphone and I'm trying to do an interview, like, fucking do an interview, motherfucker.
Well, that did happen. I know with Maynard one time, he was doing an interview with Tony Gonzalez for Loudwire Nights, and he was giving one word answers.
She told me. She was like, God. She told me like it was a very, very difficult interview.
She hated it, and it got to the point where she was contacting my boss to ask him, what do I do? Like, what do I do with this? I can't, like, this is not editable material. He just wasted 15 to 20 minutes of my time because he didn't want to be there, and he was just being a dick throughout the interview. So what Kevin said was, if he truly gave you one-word answers, just post that. Like, cut out all the questions and just make it him going, yes, no, maybe, yeah, sure, no, yes, maybe. Like, through the whole thing. And just play that back as like a 30-second clip and say that was your Maynard interview. And have some fun with it. Make it a joke.
Yeah.
And Tony said, well, I don't want to piss him off by doing that. And Kevin's response was, well, look at how he treated the interview. You have the right to make it something that's going to be airable for your show if he's going to spend the time to do that.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. It's like if you dish it out, you got to be willing to take it. And everyone knows at the end of the day, the reason Maynard showed up and acted like that is because he doesn't give a fuck. So if you make fun of him, he's not going to call a manager and say, get that woman fired. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to be, I'll never do an interview with them again. Good. Thank you.
Then you don't have to go through that crap anymore.
Yeah, like,
but anyway, look, I'll still give Nikki Sixx the benefit of the doubt. I haven't enjoyed the interviews with the guy.
Nikki's different than Maynard because I don't think Nikki's making it a point to be like that. But here's the thing: the only reason I can say this is because I've met Nikki and he's a very, very sweet guy when I've met him. But at the same time, he's fucking Nikki Sixx. It could be a Rockstar put on because he's fucking Nikki Sixx, or maybe he had a series of bad days, or I don't fucking know. But I'm going to humbly go on record and disagree with your opinion on that because I've had a different experience, and also because I don't want to fucking get a call from Nikki being like, dude, what the fuck is this? Like, because I've met him and he's a dope fucking guy.
Well, here's how lowly I am. If I were to get a call from Nikki Sixx, I'd be like, "Sweet, this is cool." That's
okay,
awesome.
Good. Thank you for putting that on record. So it's not as it's a shallow argument we're having right now. It's not too deep.
Of course, but, absolutely. But going back to our book club idea here, I found the book that you're talking about. It's Walk This Way: The Autobiography of Aerosmith, and what it's described as on its Wikipedia page is it's divided into two books. And book one is from the band of the primary members' early lives until 1975, when the album Toys in the Attic came out. Yeah. And then book two goes from 76 through the downfall in the early 80s, and then the comeback of the late 80s up until 1997, which was when the book was released. Yeah. Now, here's what you were talking about. The book is written in a very distinctive fashion with alternating paragraphs of recollections by the individual band members, band personnel, family members, friends, and music industry professionals. Yeah. This results in a very descriptive reading as it presents the detailed recollection of individual events in the band's history from several perspectives.
And I'll tell you why this is a dope way to write a book, okay? In the first half, in the 70s, in the 70s section of their career, when they were just coked out and on lewds the whole time, there's many stories. So I'm not gonna. This is not a spoiler alert, but the reason that it's so interesting is because you've got the band talking about, we were on this tour, we were fucking all coked out of our mind, we were constantly high, we can't remember anything, everything was chaos, the pinnacle of chaos. And one of the bass player is like, I knew that things were maybe going too far when we were in the middle of the set, and Steven just fell backwards and started convulsing on stage. And we had to cancel the show. And then the drummer was like, "Yeah, I remember that show. I thought he had it coming. He was a dick that whole fucking tour. Fuck Steven Tyler." And then Joe Perry was like, "I remember I was playing guitar and I looked over and Steven was on the ground just sort of like twitching, and I thought it was hilarious because he looked kind of like a rag doll with batteries that were short-circuiting, and I just kept playing because I was fucking high." And then you go to Steven Tyler's perspective. They go to Steven Tyler's part of the story, and he goes, "Yeah, I remember that. I was just fucking over it, so I just fell back and started twitching until they dragged me off stage. That wasn't fucking real." And and it's like you see all the perspectives of these moments in front of 20,000 people, and it's like it's hilarious, dude. It's a really interesting way to do a take on it because no one in an autobiography, you can have the luxury of saying, well, this is just my perspective. Maybe I was a dick, maybe I did something wrong, but this is my perspective. Whereas this version was like, you're going to get pretty closer to the truth of each story than you ever would have otherwise. Because you have the perspective.
So do you want to start with this book?
I'm on the fence, dude. I want to start with Heroin Diaries or this book. I think it'd be good to do it on this book because it's a good, it's good for conversation stuff. But the Heroin Diaries is a dope read, and also you think Nikki's a dick, so I want to start with that one.
Well, then, okay, so how about this? So we have our first two books then. We'll start with the Heroin Diaries, and then we'll move on to Walk This Way. Okay. So we just got to go buy the damn book. Yeah. And the one thing that I'd sent you a message about that I thought would kind of be a cool idea because we generally we record these episodes. You do stream them on Discord for the VIPs, for the people who want to come in for that stuff. But I think what would be kind of cool is if we were to set a schedule of here's when we, because with a book club, you got to be able to read a book by a certain amount of time, then everybody could discuss the book.
I think we should do chapters. I think we should do chapters. We have to finish a chapter and we discuss that chapter.
And then we can open it up and we can stream that live. So if people want to follow along and be in the book club with us, by all means, we could actually stream that on Twitch, and then we can involve everybody in the conversation, which I think would be kind of cool.
I think that's a good idea. But are we planning to do this next week, or I think we should start this maybe at the top of next year?
This is still a pretty big work in progress. Yeah. Let's try to figure this thing out. This is baby steps, man.
Yeah,
baby
okay,
steps.
Excellent, good. Because I know you've got a lot of stuff you're doing with all the jazz that we've talked about, and then I'm setting up a new studio and just getting through to the end of the year. So let's make this a thing for the top of next year. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll shoot for 2021. Oh, you know what? It'll be my Christmas gift to you. I'm going to buy you a copy of the Heroin Diaries.
And I'm going to buy you a copy of the Heroin Diaries. And now we'll.
All right, we got a copy of the Heroin Diaries.
Okay. So
we got that locked in.
Hey, dude,
so
I forgot to ask you, what happened to our Rage tickets? Did they get refunded?
Nope, they're still sitting there.
They're just fucking sitting there?
Well, they've rescheduled.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. They rescheduled to next summer, and other bands have rescheduled to next, fall, August, September. It's not going to happen.
It's got June 3rd.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's El Paso. We're going to be in Las Cruces. June 5th. It's still sitting there. They're still honoring the tickets. I think if we wanted a refund, we could, but I'm not getting a refund, dude. Come on, it's Rage Against the Machine. Fucking Rage.
I love the fact that my story, here's the thing. Everyone has a story about when 9/11 happened. Where were you? I remember exactly. Where were you when you saw 9/11?
Asleep.
You were asleep? I remember
still asleep.
When 9/11 happened, I was watching We Were Warriors, which is a Muhammad Ali documentary, and the thing came up on the news and interrupted the program, but I was young, so I remember thinking, okay, this is a big deal, but when are they going to go back to the movie? Because we're about to see the big Muhammad Ali fight, and they never went back. But I was a fucking idiot. I was a kid. But when it comes to when the lockdown started, I'm going to remember that the week that the lockdown started was the week that I was planning to fly to the US and stay
you
there.
Got stuck here.
Yeah, I nearly got stuck there. And the reason was to go and see Rage Against the Machine. And I actually knew, a couple of weeks beforehand, people were like, this coronavirus thing's starting to get out of hand. Have you been seeing these reports? And then I got a text from you a day or 2 days before I was supposed to fly over. Yep. And it was the day that they canceled all the sporting events, which was pretty much that 3 days, that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was when all the sporting events got canceled. And then concerts were basically, we're probably going to have to cancel concerts. And that was the weekend when the whole world went, oh shit, this is real. This is the world just changed. They've never done this before. So that, but I love that it gets to, my version of the story gets to be, I didn't get to see Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, have you done that challenge where you go back on your social media and you go find some pictures from January or February, and it's basically the clueless photographs? Because you were posting these things, not realizing 2020 was about to change forever. Your life was about to change. And for me, it was the photo from the day I bought the tickets, because I had taken I snapped a picture of my computer screen that had me waiting in the queue. Yeah. And I remember almost not getting those tickets. I remember having to pony up a whole hell of a lot more money than I really had for these tickets. So it was just one of those things that, at the time, I had no idea what we were in store for. Right. There was no clue. And then it was a month later where all of a sudden I'm shooting you a text and I was like, hey, are you following this? Because they're starting to shut everything down. Yeah. And you responded I don't know what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Then my next response was, I don't care. I'm going to see Rage Against the Machine. I booked my flight. I'm coming across the world to hang out with you and watch Rage Against the Machine. We're going to do a road trip and it's going to be fucking awesome. And then it's the gig's cancelled. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll come over just in case they uncancel it. You couldn't fucking talk me out of it.
But that's the thing, because remember, this is our story. This is our ongoing Rockstar 101. You know how on TV shows, there's generally that underlying story that kind of follows every season, and it just never quite gets
Ross
wrapped
and Rachel
up until the very end. Yeah. Ours is never seeing Rage Against the Machine. As long as we're doing Rockstar 101 here, it's just for some reason that's always going to be elusive, and we're never going to get to see the damn band.
I think it's going to be great that when we do finally do it, we're going to live stream the whole road trip from my phone on Twitch, and everyone's going to
hell yeah, we are. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. So what are you looking at? What's the next thing?
All right, so what I was thinking of doing here is I found a bunch of rock and roll facts, and I was going to quiz you on them. And I don't expect you to know all of this stuff because a lot of it is really just random facts, but I want to see how close you can get, or if you can maybe just shoot from the hip and get something right. So
I want to shoot from the hip.
Question number 1 for Shim. What was the first CD to be pressed in the United States? And they're all rock questions, so you don't have to worry about being a different kind of genre.
Wait, did you say the first CD? The first CD.
The first CD to be pressed in the United States.
So it's a rock thing. First CD to be pressed. CDs were around.
Pretty big album. Do you want me to describe the album cover for you?
I can't. No, not the cover, but I want to say that it's going to... I don't know why I want to say Elvis Presley, because I want to think that it's going to be like a label that would have what's their biggest artist, or... Yeah, I'm thinking it's either... Okay, hold on. Can I get a 3 shot in? Can I try for 3 if it's one of these 3?
Hell yeah.
But you already said no, it's not Elvis Presley.
It's not Elvis.
Okay, so I'm going to go with...
Do you want me to... You know what? I'll give you the year.
Oh, okay, give me the year.
It was released June 4th, 1984.
The first CD... Okay, give me another hint. Was it a current record or a classic record?
I believe it was a current one. This was pressed...
Oh, then it was Thriller.
No, it's rock, man.
Oh, sorry. Fucking 1984. It's a rock thing. The first CD that was pressed ever, and it was a current record at the time. 1984. I mean, fucking Elton John or Queen, maybe. Like, who were the biggest rock acts?
No, this dude's a pretty big rock act, but it's neither one of them. Bruce Springsteen.
Ah, of course.
Born in the USA.
Of course.
Was the first one ever. All right,
these are fun. Let's keep going.
All right, moving on to the next question here.
By the way, my original thing was going to be either Elvis Presley, Bing Crosby, because he had the biggest selling album of all time with his Christmas album. I thought they might have gone with that, or Frank Sinatra, because I would have assumed they go with like something that's already sold a bazillion records. They'd start printing those first,
knowing that this would probably sell more.
Yeah, like they'll just. But that makes sense. He was definitely the biggest American artist in the world at that time.
All right, here we go. So next one, we're doing a little Beatles trivia for you here. Okay. Paul McCartney admitted that the "you" in the song "Got to Get You Into My Life" was blank.
Wow.
The "you" in the song "Got to Get You Into My Life" was blank.
Was... I mean, I'm fucking stumped. I'm totally stumped. I mean, I want to say like that it was, it's reefer? Marijuana. I've got to get you into my life. The "you" was weed. Okay.
Was apparently marijuana.
Okay. That makes total fucking sense. I don't know why. I'm thinking the Beatles are all about peace and love. I'm thinking like, well, it wasn't a member of the band trying to get back together because it's the Beatles. It wasn't his wife because that's too fucking obvious. Marijuana, of course. That or acid. Marijuana.
All right. Next one. Having made $18,000, this artist was the highest paid musician to perform at Woodstock.
This artist. Artist? Was it a band or an artist?
It's an artist.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix is correct, baby.
Yes!
I don't have my bell here. Oh, wait, hold on. 1 second.
I'm so satisfied right now. We got the bell.
I got a bell.
I can't tell you how my heart rate just jacked up there. I was like...
Because you got that right?
Yeah, totally got that right. I'm excited. This is fun. Let's do it again.
Okay. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to think of how I can...
Any of my War Room patrons, my rebels that are listening right now, if you have lists of these questions that you can send in for next week... Maybe we make this a semi-regular thing.
Oh, absolutely. This would be kind of fun here. Okay, so...
And I'll think of some Australian trivia ones for you. That'll be good.
This band holds the record for the most Rolling Stone magazine covers with more than 30.
More than 30? It's a band?
More than 30.
Rolling Stone... more than 30. Rolling Stone... It's either Nirvana, the Beatles, It might be who's. Hold on a second. I can get this. It's who else could it be? Rolling Stones. Very okay. Is it okay? Is it an artist or a band?
It's an art. I'm sorry. It's a band.
It's a band.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the actual Rolling Stones. It's probably the Beatles. Rolling Stones been around a long fucking time. I'm going to say the Beatles.
Yeah, you got it. It's the Beatles.
My man.
That's
awesome.
the Beatles. We've had 30 covers. That's amazing. Let me see here.
I'm fucking crushing it.
God, I'm trying to find a way to actually
see. We could never do this live on. We could never do this live on Twitch because people would give me the answer. They'd look it up and give me the answer.
And that's one of the issues. Like when we do this on the morning show and we do games, we specifically tell people don't answer in the chat because we don't want anybody to be able to go look for it or look it up.
Yeah.
All right. So this band was the first band to ever promote a new album on a billboard.
What year?
It doesn't say here.
Okay, the first band to ever promote an album on a billboard. It doesn't say what year. A billboard. Let me just think. Like it's got to be it's obviously a massive band. Maybe it's a forward-thinking band that thought that it was a first band that you could do. I mean, billboards have been around forever. Part of me wants to go back to like the 40s and 50s. It's a band, not an artist.
It's a band.
It's a band. Can I? Is it a classic band or like? Is it like early rock and roll, like 50s, 60s, or is it
late after that?
It's after that. Okay, if it's after that, then I want to go with. I kind of want to say Queen. Is it Queen?
It is not Queen.
Okay, what is it?
The Doors.
You're kidding. I would not have picked
The Doors. The Doors were apparently the first band to ever promote a new album through a billboard ad.
I would have thought it'd be something like big, like Queen. Doors is pretty okay. That's cool. I can dig that. Good to know.
All right, here's your next question. Reginald Kenneth Dwight is whose real name?
Oh, dude, I know this. Reginald
Kenneth Dwight is whose real name?
The drummer from the Stones?
No.
No,
this is a pretty big artist.
I just embarrassed myself with that answer.
I
remember the drummer from the Stones having a weird name. It's something Watts. Stop writing in the fucking chat, rebels. Okay, I don't know why I'm looking at the chat. I shouldn't have that open. Hold on.
Yeah, don't cheat. Why are they?
No. She was like, "Come on, I know this." Reginald, say it again. I feel like an asshole. That's why I shouldn't do this on the podcast because it's on record now.
Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
I know when you say this, I'm going to kick myself and be like, "Of course, Reginald Kenneth Dwight." I'm fucking happy. I know who that is. I'm brain farting. Go ahead and tell me, because we're on a podcast.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. God. Elton John. I
can't believe
that. Whose real name is Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
Yeah.
You like my top 40 voice on that one? It's Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
That's really embarrassing, because I love that movie, the movie that they made about Elton John, but I never knew that was his name until I saw the movie, and that's why. Okay, cool. Next.
All right. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this one. This band went by the name Spot after being banned in the majority of the UK. Spot stands for something.
Spot. Oh, it's Sex Pistols. Yeah.
Do you know what Spot stood for?
Sex Pistols, OT.
On tour.
Sex Pistols on tour. Okay, cool.
Sex Pistols on tour.
When you said it was banned in the UK, my first thought was Sex Pistols, but then I was like, Spot, what does it stand for? And then perfect.
It's interesting watching your brain work, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. This band holds the Guinness World Record for the longest running rock group fan club.
Stones, right?
Nope.
The longest running fan club. Well, it'd have to be a band that's still around. They're still around? Is the band still happening?
Yeah, the band is still around.
Okay.
Most of the band.
Oh, Kiss.
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get this.
You were pretty adamant about that too. Like you were like Kiss. I know this.
Like Kiss, because you're thinking of bands that are still around that have the most hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's no. The Deadheads.
No, it's not the Grateful Dead.
Speedway.
No.
Fucking.
I'll give you one more chance.
Okay.
It's a big band.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I know what my last choice is, but I think it's wrong. So let me just think for third. Give me 15 more seconds. It's got to be an older band. What's the question exactly again? One more time.
This band holds the Guinness World Record for longest running rock group fan club.
Longest running.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I was gonna say Pearl Jam because I know that their fan club is insane, but that's not going to be the longest running.
No,
so what is it?
They've got a great fan club, but it's not the longest one.
What is it? What is it then?
Doom.
Fucking Queen! God damn it! I'm picking the wrong bands and the wrong answers, man. What a bummer. All right, hold on a second.
I could have added it because the way that it's written here, if I added this extra line, you would have gotten it because it says Queen holds the Guinness World Record for longest running rock group fan club. All other clubs have bit the dust.
Oh, yeah. That would have given it away. That's, yeah. Queen, I have a feeling that Queen's probably going to be the answer for a couple of these questions. But let's do one more, and then we're at time. Okay, so give me one more, and then let's
I got two more. We're doing two more. I got two more
here. Okay, let's do two more, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, this one
hold on a second. I've got a great idea. Run the socials, and then do the last two. Yeah, so that people don't... Let's do it.
All right, let's fire off these socials. If you want to get a hold of Shim, you can find him over on Twitter. It is at Shimmoore, Shimmoore. If you want to head over to Facebook, it's just Shim, and he does have the blue check mark. You can always hit me up over on Instagram or on Reddit. It is at The Real Brandalorian. I also want to give a big shout out to our supporters. We have a new supporter. That is Chevy Dawes. We're hoping it's Chevy, maybe Chevy. We're not sure. But Chevy, welcome to the group. Victoria, Veronica, and Taryn, as always, thank you for being supporters as well. If you want to be a supporter of this podcast, just go to anchor.fm/rockstar101 and you can become a supporter. Also, I do have to remind you of the Beard Struggle. It's where I get all of my beard products. You can head to the Beard Struggle and use promo code Brandalorian at checkout, and you'll get yourself a nice big old fat discount. You can buy the beard oils, the shampoos, the conditioners. It's how my beard looks so glorious on a daily basis. I'm just letting you know that right now. So check it out, The Beard Struggle with promo code Brandalorian. All right.
Twitch.
Here we go. Oh, Twitch. Twitch.tv/Hollywood Rebellion. That's where you can find Shim. He does the lockdown sessions. You still do the VIP sessions?
Doing VIP sessions, doing live cover shows now every weekend. There's a heap of stuff there. Just go and follow the channel and check it out and use your Amazon Prime login. And you can log in and you get your free Twitch Prime account with free subs that you can use on my channel to get free stuff. So, that said, what's the last question?
All right, so we've got two more questions here. First one is, this band was originally the backup band for singer Linda Ronstadt.
This band was originally the backup band for Linda Ronstadt. Dude, that's Americana. I would not.
I could give you a hint, but I'm not sure. It's going to be a big hint, just in case. But when the band had broken up, and they ended up getting back together, and people had said, "Hell's got to freeze over before this band gets back together."
Okay. Dude, Linda Ronstadt never made it into my record collection or over into Australia, so I don't even know. I'm not going to make this one.
What about the Eagles?
The Eagles? You're kidding.
The Eagles. They were originally the backup band for singer Linda Ronstadt.
I did not know that. I'm sure Eagles fans are like, dude, Eagles.
And the Hell Freezes Over reference, that was the tour that they did after they got back together, because they said, yeah, Hell's going to freeze over before this band gets back together. Well, they did.
Right.
So the name of that tour was the Hell Freezes Over tour.
Yeah. This is a perfect, lands perfectly on my argument that, like, if you were an Americana band, it never happened in Australia. We heard Hotel California, on the radio. Never really, that was it. It was not, they weren't the legacy act that they are in the States. So that was never going to make that one. All right, what's next?
All right, here we go. Last question here for you. During an album release party, every member of this band was thrown out for starting a food fight.
Motley Crue or Aerosmith? Motley Crue.
Think later.
Oh, later. Every member of this band for starting a food fight.
I'm starting to think
Roses.
if I should have just... No, but I'm starting to think I should have just said, never mind, you're not going to get this one.
Okay, cool. So it's Nirvana. I didn't think Nirvana. I didn't think Nirvana with that Rockstar. I thought that it was
apparently, man. Yeah, apparently it was during the Nevermind album release party. Every member of Nirvana was thrown out for starting a food fight.
That's fucking awesome.
Man, and the picture that they put here of Kurt Cobain, God, it looks like Wes Scantlin. Good Lord.
Really? Not looking good?
Oh, man. Truly, if you were to just glance by this picture, you would almost think, holy crap, that's Wes Scantlin. Because he's got the beanie on with the hair coming out the way Wes wears it and stuff. And did you ever hear that cover that Wes did of Nirvana?
Oh, about a girl?
It broke the internet because it was so bad.
Yeah, I did watch. You could tell, that was one of the first things I watched on Twitch when I started watching YouTube videos. I don't watch YouTube videos really anymore on Twitch, but when I started, I tried it, and I watched that, and it was painful.
Yeah, it was rough, but
all right. Anyway,
good things for Wes Scantlin.
Thanks for hanging out. Thank you to our supporters. Thank you to you for watching this current episode. Thank you to all of the patrons in the War Room and the subscribers on Twitch for hanging out with us while we record it. And we'll be back next week. Is there anything else? No? Cool.
No, I think that's about it. I think we can wrap this bad boy up.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much to everyone for your patronage. His name is Brandon. He's the DJ.
His name is Shim. He's the Rockstar. Class dismissed.